something I'll be doing, and
I can do it. No, let me do it. Let me do it. Can I do it?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can create it.
Okay, cool.
Sounds great.
I'm gonna have like different audios of you just being mean to me.
That's great. I actually did a lot of listening back to the podcast and realized that you're actually pretty mean yourself.
That is such a lie. Anyways.
Anyway, welcome to episode 6 of Oh God, Please, Not Another Podcast. I am Josh Dell, and this is Braylee Linderman. I guess you could have introduced yourself, but
you know what?
You said you're pretty slow today.
We
so
should
I'm
have
just
a man do
on.
it anyways.
Yeah, that's true. In my ideal world, men do all the introductions, and it's not true. I could never talk again and be happy. You were late this morning.
Okay.
And you showed up with Starbucks. Okay. So you were double late. As I said, double latte.
I didn't want to be late. I actually was technically like almost completely on time, but right when I put the coffee pot into like our coffee maker, our power went out and I had to stop and get coffee or else like this wasn't going to happen.
Right. I hope I hit record on the video thing. I always get nervous.
Let me go look.
Go look real quick. Go look. Yeah. So you were late and,
but I did have a dream about you.
Okay. I kind of want to hear it, but I also kind of don't care.
You do care.
Okay, I care a lot.
It's like, it was the dream that I had, like whenever I woke up and I was like, I forgot to set an alarm. Oh, that's another thing. I forgot to set an alarm. So I just slept until 9:30. But I dreamt that me, you, and Courtney were at this like college thing. I don't know what it was, but we were at this college thing and you were really, really drunk. And we were in a Subaru with like 7 rows. And
Subaru limo? A stretch Subaru?
Pretty much.
That's cool.
Anyways, and so I get in the car. I'm in like the 5th row. It's just me and you, and you're driving. And I was like, Josh, are you okay to drive? And you're like, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we're leaving, and all of a sudden you have this like pager thing, and it's a heart. And it's like beep, 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 beep. And you go, fuck, I forgot Courtney. We had left Courtney on campus. And
even though we had all those rows in the Subaru, we could have fit her.
And you were like, I was like, wait a second. I was like, what is this pager for? And you go, it's for when I forget Courtney.
Yeah.
And I was like, makes sense.
It's my air tag. For
yeah. And then I woke up and I was like, great, it's 9:30. But I just think you had a pager for when you forget her.
Yeah. And I had a stretch Subaru
limo.
That's awesome. Well, I didn't have any dreams, and No, I don't dream in my day-to-day life or at night. I don't have any anymore. The weight of the world has crushed who I am as a person, and I have been getting messages. Okay, this is actually pretty funny. I've been getting messages that I have a doppelganger in Nashville.
Really?
Yeah. I have somebody who I don't know. So, Morgan Wallen played like last weekend at Bridgestone. And somebody was like, dude, I just saw you at the Wallen concert. Like, do you want to go out after this? And I was like, it was like 11 p.m. And I was like, I most certainly am not at the Morgan Wallen concert. I am in bed. And then somebody messaged me last night and said at Jonathan's Bar and Grill, they walked up to somebody and they're like, Josh, what are you doing, man? And they're like, nope, that's not me. And
really?
Yeah. So there's some guy around here who looks like me.
Oh my,
and,
two gorgeous Joshes in Nashville?
Dude, nowhere is safe.
No. Oh my gosh, now I'm really interested to know who it is.
I want to know who it is too.
If you've gotten two text messages?
the worst thing, no, I've gotten more as well too.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's kind
like
of scary.
people saw me driving and stuff, like when I'm not driving. I think though, just like with a lot of things, when I find out who it is, it's going to be depressing because I think it's going to be one of those things where you're like, oh, that's how the world sees me. That's how people you're like, oh, dang. Yeah. Well,
that is the worst part about like I hate when people go, you look like my friend so and so.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, let me see a photo, and then you're like, oh.
The only one I like kind of agree with, and when it's like when people are like, Josh, you look like Chris Hemsworth, and I was like, yeah, I get that. I do have a Hemsworth quality about me.
I look like
Thor-esque.
Gigi Hadid.
Yeah. Yeah. You do look like Gigi Hadid after she did some babies and settled down and
I'm so
stopped
interested
wearing makeup.
I'm
just kidding. I know you wear makeup.
I wear sunscreen and tinted moisturizer. And
Are you going to give us a tutorial right now?
I also wear some concealer under my eyeballs, and I wear a little bit of blush. Rare Beauty. We love Selena Gomez, don't we?
Yeah. Who do you get? Who do you get as a doppelganger?
Growing up, I got Brooke Shields a lot.
Brooke Shields.
A lot. I got because my eyebrows are big.
Big eyebrows.
Big eyebrows. I also get, and this makes me sad, not in a bad way, whatever, but I get Leah Michele when I'm wearing a hat.
Leah Michele. Who is?
Glee. You know, the one that sings really with her mouth wide open.
No.
The lead singer.
I didn't watch Glee. I'm not really.
Really?
I'm not target audience for Glee. Like, what? You think I watch Glee?
Kinda.
Why?
This girl.
You look nothing like that girl.
I know, but I can't tell you how many times
But you
I've
do have
gotten
a giant mouth that just never stops yapping. I don't know.
Well, let's catch up because our last episode that we did was like 2.5 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, it probably did. I think we had an editing week in between.
Yeah,
Not that people
that was fun.
are interested in us editing.
But we played the Bluebird.
We did play the Bluebird.
And that was a really great show.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's cool to play there, man. And you're like, so many people have played there, and it's nice to play like a venue where people really just come to listen to music. It's a lot of tourists that come in.
Yeah, and I love it.
It is. Yeah, because like tourists are just like, oh my gosh, we're going to be like we're on the show Nashville.
And they're also going to be like, we're about to listen to hit songwriters, and none of us have a cut.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Josh ran into this giant tractor.
Oh, I did. Leaving the Bluebird. Yeah, we went in and it was sunny. Like we went in to play, and then we left and it was pouring rain. And I don't know, like living out here. I used to wash my car a lot more in California, but here I'm just like, let it get muddy. Whatever. It rains so much. So it was muddy, and my whole back window and rear view camera was all just mudded up, and I just kept reversing until the abyss. I said, I'm going to reverse until I hit a giant tractor, and that is what I did.
But what's so funny is I called Josh afterwards because Tom, my husband, is quiet.
Oh, yeah.
And he was walking by me, and he was like, don't hit that tractor. And I looked
like
up.
As I'm about to hit it.
And then Josh hits it, and he goes, told him not to hit the tractor. And then Josh's wife.
And then Courtney comes up and says, did you have a whoopsie? And I said, yep, I did.
Did you have a whoopsie? Did you buy the plunger thing to get the dent out?
I did, but it didn't. I think so. The plunger thing works really well. Like if you have any like little dents or whatever. Yeah. But I think this is something where somebody might have to go in the inside and like pop it out. But
maybe you need to trade it in for a limo Subaru.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I feel like there's a specific type of person that loves Subarus, and usually they're female, and they
I'm waiting for you to say it.
They're lesbians. Yeah, it's lesbians. Lesbians they have a chokehold on Subarus.
They really do.
And that's great. I mean, honestly, like 5 out of the 10 lesbian friends I have drive a Subaru, and they seem like really reliable cars, and they're just like are equipped for all the things that you might. They're hiking.
Yeah,
great.
For their after softball practice.
Yeah,
he carries their gear.
Yeah, whatever you know.
You know who else who loves Subarus?
I feel like you could fit a ton of flannel shirts in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's probably like a 6-disc changer for all your Melissa Etheridge CDs. And I don't know. I have a good amount of lesbian friends.
I have a lot of bi
But I feel like
friends.
saying that right now is like me being like, oh, I work with a black guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not trying to like.
Great segue. I have to tell you about this lady that came into the store yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, so I work at a retail store part-time. The Nash Collection.
Yeah.
Go buy your Nash Collection stuff. Anyways, this woman came in and you immediately knew that she was a capital C word. She comes up and every...
Contrarian?
Yeah. Country. Country. She if we get big bills, if we get hundreds and 50s, we have to check them to make sure they're real.
Yeah.
We've gotten a handful of like counterfeit hundreds
Really?
and 50s, and a lot of times people don't even know that they're fake.
Yeah, because they're just
They get
getting
them from
circulated, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So this lady came in, and you could tell she's just pristine. She looks like she grew up in West Palm Beach. So
that's where Joe Noto grew up.
she looks like she grew up in West Palm Beach. And I go to check her $100 bill, and she goes, "Oh, you have to check my money?" And I go, "Oh yeah, you'd be shocked. Like we get fake ones all the time." And she goes, "But I wouldn't think you'd have to check mine." And I didn't say anything, and I was like, "What?"
Like,
And
what do you mean by that, lady?
literally,
Yeah.
And so then my friend goes, she's the type of person that'd be like, "I'm not racist. My housemate is black." Like
Yeah,
that's like the type of
right.
person
Yeah,
she
yeah,
is.
Totally.
Like the blood drained from my face because I so badly wanted to be like, "What do you mean?"
It is funny how with some people it's just like this entitlement is just kind of instilled in them, and they're like, "My money." Like,
Yeah.
I could say how you check other people's money. who
Yeah,
come in
and
here.
working in retail, especially in like a touristy area, you get those types of people all the time.
Totally. I mean, hey, I worked in a restaurant for years and years, and same. Sorry, I had peanuts. Well, did you have anything else to catch up on?
No, just we played Bluebird. I released a single.
Yeah, I listened to that.
It's doing well. It's doing good.
It was good.
And
I'm just kidding. I've
then
listened to it a few times.
Yeah.
It's on a playlist.
so go listen to that. And
Yes, it's called Let Me.
Yeah, and we played the
Be your
Bluebird.
checkpoint.
What else have we done, Josh?
I haven't done much
We
this week.
edited.
Yeah, edited. I got everything signed up for all of our podcast networks. So we're on Apple, Spotify, who sucks. We're on iHeart
Yes.
Radio.
And why does Spotify suck? Go.
RS. They're trying to do this new bundle deal, which is going to pay out songwriters $150 million less in the first year than the previous year. So, and it's just on the a track to keep paying artists and songwriters less and less, which is
The reason why Spotify exists.
right. You know,
I was thinking yesterday, I was like, how do we fight this? And I'm like, should we just tell everybody to pull their music from Spotify? But you can't because it's like everybody listens to Spotify.
I'm pulling out.
You never pull out.
I never do, but this time I am. You know what? This is my first time in my life ever. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I really was Garth Brooks right all along, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he was. I honestly, I know this sounds weird, but I just feel like if Taylor Swift was like, I'm pulling everything from Spotify,
Yeah, she would have the biggest
that is what it
impact.
would
Like,
do.
yeah, but something tells me she probably is like a 50% stake owner in Spotify. or
Yeah,
something,
but then
you know?
also like I don't know if you noticed, but The Weeknd holds like the #1 spot for streaming. If
Yeah,
they pulled
he
their
is.
music, like
yeah,
he pulled his music, then
yeah, I think he's a he him, not a they them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be impactful. It would take like I think the top 10 artists to like pull their music, and then everybody would follow suit.
okay,
I
I'll
think.
message Taylor Swift. You
I'll
message Mr. Weeknd.
Abel is his name.
Who else? I'm sure that
He's not able to act though. I watched a little bit of that show on HBO that he did, and I was
it
like,
bad?
this ain't good. Yeah, it sucked, dude. But HBO does have a lot of good shows.
Do they?
But they do.
A lot of porn.
What?
A lot of naked people on HBO.
In what way?
I don't know. Just I feel like every time I turn on a movie or a show, there's boobies. Maybe I'm on the wrong side of HBO.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not my experience with
And
HBO.
The worst part about
But,
it though is like if I find a show, like for example, I was watching a show and at the end they finally slept together.
Yeah.
And every time I see boobies or something, I go, "Oh my god, her boobies!" Like,
Now you have to say that.
single
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that you have that reaction with the absolute smut that you read.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, I guess there's like shows like Game of Thrones and stuff, you know, that had like
I couldn't finish Game
that's
of Thrones.
pretty heavy. Yeah, well, you didn't miss much at the end there. I thought like I think it was like season like 3 through like maybe it was 2 through 4 that I really was like, oh, this is gonna get good, and then like just kind of fell off for me. But I don't know. Some people still say, hey, I loved it and I think it was great, but I disagree. So I guess let's not talk about that if we know each other and you're listening to this, because we're just not going to agree. We have fundamental differences on
It's
what
just-
makes a good
For me, it was
ending.
just too many characters. I just could not keep up with it. I think I stopped after the Red
It's
Wedding.
weird though because you like fantasy stuff. Oh, the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good episode though, where they killed everybody.
And everybody died.
Yeah, and they just had to start a new show because everybody was dead.
I'm so proud of you for having notes.
I have a little bit of notes. I mostly one was just to write down, be like, make Braylee feel bad that she was late this morning and stopped at Starbucks, and I think I achieved that. And then another one was just tell people about your doppelganger. Let's see if we can get this out into the world, and see if we can discover who this guy is.
Ooh.
But I have what?
We should have like a thing on Instagram or something. Be like, if you have a doppelganger, send us the photos of you two, and then let's rate.
I want to send everybody on a wild goose chase to find this guy who is my doppelganger.
He's probably at Daddy Dog's right now.
It's not Sean. It's not. Oh, yeah.
I just say eating the hot dog.
Oh, yeah, probably. You think we have the same exact personality, too?
Yeah.
No, we don't, because he's been spotted past 11 p.m. both times.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm always in bed at that time.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Here's a question I've been wanting to ask you, though, and I think it's important because we live here. Who are you excited about in the Nashville music scene right now? Are you hot on anybody? Is anybody setting your pants on fire? Or you're just like, man, I got to get more records. I got to get...
Oh, my gosh.
I've been paying a lot of attention to country music because I kind of work in country music, even though I don't...
Oh, who are you? Well, help me out. Who are you excited about?
Who am I excited about?
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to I don't think it's going to blow anybody's minds because people are already excited about these people. But I was going to say a few months ago, I saw Zach Top and Hannah McFarland playing at Live Oak. And I think they're some really good artists for the future of country music, man. And
Yeah.
I before, because I kind of went to the bathroom at one point and then came back out, and then I heard Hannah playing Whiskey in the Way, and I wasn't there for the introduction of it. Didn't even know that you wrote it. And then I sent you a text message. I was like, dude, this girl Hannah has a song Whiskey in the Way. Like, it's so good. Like, I think that's going to be like a hit song. And you're like, oh, I co-wrote that with Hannah.
Yeah,
and,
I thought that
Dan
you were
Hudson.
sending it to be like,
No.
congratulations.
No. I was just, sometimes when I hear a good song, I just have to send it to people.
Yeah, Hannah's
But,
an incredible songwriter.
Hannah is great. Zach Top is great. Like, you've heard some of his stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I think he just had a record come out. Man, I just think he has that cool, like, 90s country vibe that, like, that's like when country was so fun. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he even has the look too.
yeah, he does, dude.
To
The
go with it.
mustache and like, yeah. I think it's awesome, man. I've gotten to hang out with him a couple times, and I just think like he's a great person for country music, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, who are you hot on?
Writer wise, I see the name a lot, and she is really, really good. She's actually from my hometown, but Avery Bolesky. She's an incredible writer. She made it to Nashville like a year ago, and she's already signed to a pub deal. Like, she's just writing great songs, like left and right.
10-month town.
10-month town for some of us. Elise Yulo. I just started working with Elise a lot recently. She's not only a great artist,
She's producer, right?
She's an incredible writer and an incredible producer. I've worked with her a lot recently,
awesome.
and every time I get in a room with her, I just know I'm going to have something that's amazing that's going to come out.
That's awesome.
Also, somebody who's been on the hot train for writing is Brie Fletcher. Everything she has showed me recently, I'm like, damn, this is so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love Brie.
And obviously Maddie Linhart.
Maddie is number one. And yeah, Maddie needs to have some more songs come out. She has
Maddie
one song
has
right now.
great songs. I went and
That's
watched her
out.
play at
I can only listen to Sober so much.
Yeah, I know, right? Maddie Linhart will have more come out. I watched her at the East Side Bowl. She did a live show with a full band, and I went up to her afterwards. I was like, I cannot believe you have not released all these yet. All of them
Yeah.
are good. Also, another incredible writer. Shout out to Tyler Bank, and Becca Ray is really great. Becca Ray writes song. She wrote a song that recently played a show together, and it was about watching her grandmother like get older and lose like her memory and things like that. So heart-wrenchingly good.
Yeah. Wow.
Everybody in the room was like, oh my gosh, like, oh, She's so good.
Wow.
I could go on about all my friends. Sam Blasco, Josh Dell.
That's great.
You've been writing some good shit recently.
It's only those two people for me. Everybody else, I don't. Yeah. No. I love good music. And I mean, it's weird because I think everybody would say I love good music, but music is subjective, Yeah. Some people think things are great. Other people think those same things suck. And that's just the world we live in.
There is one more person I would like to shout out because I just discovered him.
Really?
And I found out that he's like not a huge, I thought he was going to be a huge artist. And he is. He bigger than me and us and whatever. But his name is Drew Irwin. And he's more of like a singer-songwriter-y, like pop vibe.
Yeah.
I listened to all of his music, didn't skip one of them.
Really?
And I messaged him. I was like, your music is so good. I'm obsessed. And he was like, thank you so much. I'm trying. I was like, you're welcome.
I'm trying.
I should have been
good,
like,
good.
I should have been like, you want to write with me? But I'm a wiener when it comes to that.
Yeah, I know. I've been finding rights for you now. And
you have been. You know a lot more people than me, I feel like.
I don't think that's true necessarily. I just think my relationships are more meaningful.
Oh. Okay.
No, that is the one thing. I always feel like way more comfortable asking like people I know to write with other people than like to write with me. So, cause I'm just.
Okay. Yeah. But then I'm kind of like, cause I'm writing with, remind me of her name.
I don't know.
Lady Gaga.
Lou Ridley.
Yeah. She's beautiful. She looks like Lady Gaga. Are you joining in on that right or not?
I mean, I didn't plan on it.
Oh, well, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
Because we planned it inside our group text message.
I know. Well, I didn't know, I just, she writes, I feel like a lot of, she has a really cool style and writes a lot of like, female empowerment, type stuff. And I feel like that's been something that you've dabbled in yourself. So I was like, I think there's some cool ideals here. I think you're a great country writer. Her stuff is like more like country pop.
Yeah. And, I liked all of her stuff. It was good. We just had this conversation though in the writing room this week. We were just talking about how a lot of, and we were listening to pop music, but a lot of things on the radio like Tate McRae and stuff is, I feel like people are now switching to more of a production-based listener. Like people listen only to production now because there's no way that like Ryan Tedder, for example, was on Tate McRae's song Kisses to My Exes or Exes, whatever it is. I don't know if you've heard that. Kisses to My Exes. Okay.
But people love the Tate McRae stuff.
Yeah.
I think I'm just not writing a lot of modern stuff because I'm not listening to a lot of modern music.
I mean, probably, but the thing is like you're not going to learn a lot from modern music. And this might be a hot take, but it's really lazy lyrics. It's very repetitive, very lazy lyrics, just kind of more based in the production part of it. Because Ryan Tedder can write a song. Yeah. And he's a writer on that. And she was like, we wrote this in 30 minutes. And I was like, I can tell. That's not impressive. I could tell.
Yeah. I think that is, I think we're kind of seeing a split down the road of like, like things where it's just like really produced, like, perfect package, like repetitive chorus and like it has tempo, it just like makes you bob your head, like that kind of stuff that performs really well on TikTok and stuff like that. And then you're seeing the other side of the road with like really stripped down, like out of tune guitar, like like Zach Bryan kind of stuff. And it's kind of creating a, I think people on the Zach Bryan side would be like, this is real artistry and this is real thing. But I would say a lot of these people that are on like the heavily produced side and stuff, they know what they're doing and they know
they do for
they
sure.
could like, like you said, Ryan Tedder can write a great song. Like,
well, it's just like, I would never listen to EDM, but people, you sell out festivals for EDM.
Yeah.
I have a friend that makes all of his money remixing songs for EDM.
Yeah.
And I would never sit in the car and listen to them, but I know
some people
millions
love it.
of people will. Yeah. But
totally.
yeah, so for heavy, like new up and coming artists, Nashville artists, I would say those ones.
You had like 10.
At the top of my list, it's definitely Josh Dell.
Oh, thank you. I don't have a list, but if I did.
Who would be at the top of your list, Josh?
Braley Linderman.
That's right.
You really backed me into a corner with that one. Do you have any favorite places to eat around town?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite place to eat around town in
My
Nashville?
favorite place.
We're going very local with this episode, so
Yes.
I don't know if you're listening outside of Nashville.
So if you listen outside of Nashville and come to Nashville, go eat at Las Fiestas off of Gallatin Avenue. It is a hole-in-the-wall Mexican restaurant, and it is so
I love
good.
Mexican food.
I do too.
You live in East Nashville though, which is kind of like a war zone, It
can be. Actually, I just saw on TikTok this guy was at the 7-Eleven off of Gallatin. It's a brand new 7-Eleven.
I literally just told you about that story the other night, and he got robbed at gunpoint.
And he at one point there was one gun to his head.
He was leaving Dino's.
Yeah, and he was like, no, he was getting gas at the 7-Eleven.
He had just left Dino's.
Oh,
and then
okay.
Got gas
Well, I don't know full detail.
right across the street.
But he had a gun to his head, and he goes, I think I could take him for a hot second.
Yeah.
And then the next gun came to his neck.
I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit on this guy, but when he said that, I was like, you clearly could not take this
And he had
guy.
a really- He was in a pink polo.
He had a lot of confidence, and I was just like, man, I know you're doing that to save some face right now or whatever, but I don't think you had a chance.
That's been happening. But yeah, and the worst part is like this gas station, like he said in the TikTok, is super well lit. It's not in that bad of an area.
Yeah, but the thing is like with the pumps, aren't they like kind of behind the...
They're behind the
It's not
building.
it's not a good setup.
And I stopped there not too long ago too, and I didn't even think about that.
Well.
At night.
Wow.
But
well, hopefully you get robbed soon.
East Nashville is a little bit of a gun, not a gun zone, a war zone.
No, I live in a gun zone. I live in Ashland City, which is in like west of Nashville, and it's
So
Cheatham
beautiful
County.
out there, though.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's beautiful out there, man. I think as long as you stay away from the local hotspots, like you'll love it. The hotspots being Walmart and Waffle House, which are in the same parking lot.
I know. I do like Ashland City. I think it's really pretty up there.
It is, man.
I just always love passing that one gas station that is like the political gas station.
It's been sold since. No, I know, really? But it was called Lewis Country Store, owned by a guy named Brad Lewis, who was on a podcast and said, I'm a literal fucking Nazi. Like this place would have all these like really, political things up, like the typical like thing, like QAnon talking points or whatever on like the billboard, like as you'd pass. Anyway, it came out like the Southern Poverty Law Center. They did like a in-depth, like studying this guy and stuff. So there's the country store, like the bottom level, but there was a top area where they were training Nazis. They were doing, it was like all these MMA guys and stuff. Like Brad was like a part of it. And like they were doing they were having KKK meetings there and like training, people to fight. And like I've gotten anti-Semitic, it was interesting is because like you'd be like, oh, these people are probably like so like pro-Trump or whatever. But I got like, some rhetoric from I'm assuming from the Lewis people or whatever. It was that like had Trump in like a yarmulke and like all he's like, look at he's like a Jewish whatever, and like here's all like his cabinet people who are Jewish, like, and like because they're very anti-Jewish these people. So yeah, I don't know what they believe in other than hate, but
I can't believe they exist.
Yeah, no, they exist.
If you're a Nazi, don't listen to our podcast. We hate you.
I don't think we attract Nazis, but
there was one time I was driving by and the screen that he has outside the gas station had Joe Biden as like a lizard with like lasers coming out of his eyeball.
That was a funny one though. Yeah, I was like
speaking of,
it's so funny because that guy had to make that. He just had to sit there.
Not to get on a political train, but I sent my dad the funniest video. My dad and I, this is a weird thing to say. My dad and I love going to like historical places. Yeah. I'm a history nerd. I love history. And one of our favorite places is to go to Gettysburg in Pennsylvania. It just has, the Battle of Gettysburg and a lot of history and all that. Anyways.
Address?
What? The Gettysburg Address?
No, what is the address of Gettysburg?
Is it, like what, like 4 score and 7
on the
years?
map? What is the address?
I don't know what the address.
Gettysburg address. What is the address for
Fourscore
Gettysburg?
and 7 years ago.
On the map. What is the street? Where is
67-2 Gettysburg Avenue.
Oh, okay, great. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
I made it up. Anyways, but it is a speech, and I sent it to my dad, and it's just going, Trump's going, Gettysburg. Wow. The battle that was horrible and bloody, but also beautiful in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah. Also beautiful in a lot of ways.
I go, Dad, next time we go to Gettysburg, can we get shirts that say Gettysburg? Wow.
Wow. I did. That guy has the funniest comedic timing. He just went on. I just saw he's like, master locks. I used to have a bunch of master locks as a kid. He's like, and I would play with them like little puzzles. And I was like,
oh my gosh.
Master locks?
Oh my gosh. I just don't think
it's funny,
we get
man.
any.
I just heard that him and Biden are going to debate, and I just am like, what is going to
I'm dreading it. It's going to be
You're dreading? I think it's going to be the funniest thing in the century.
Biden's going to mumble, and Trump's going to be like, wow, the United States of America. Do you know any words?
Trump kind of reminds me of 1990s Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Like,
I just feel like I feel like Trump is gonna sits in office and he sees like a red blinking button that says "Don't touch." He'd be like, "What's this do?" And like that's the type of person he is.
Like just a Simpsons character.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Amazing. The future of America is really scary.
I don't know.
For
Seems
both
pretty
sides.
good. For both sides.
Both sides.
What is that? That's my favorite. One of my favorite Office lines is like BJ Novak, the guy who plays Ryan in The Office, and he's like, "I support the troops, both sides."
I have to wait. We cannot go. I have to look up his name. Have you? And this could get a little deep. It might not, but
that's how I introduce Any Night with Me.
No. Have you seen the kicker of Kansas City's speech at a college commencement?
No.
Oh, buckle up.
What is it? Or tell
Put
me.
your seatbelt on.
Okay, it's on. Thank you.
Okay. Harrison Butker, his last name would have butt in it. Butker had a commencement speech. Pretty much, let me just preface this by saying there are obviously women in the crowd getting their degree, right? He said that.
Is that one of those liberal arts colleges?
No, no. So in the speech, he says that, congratulations on graduating, but women, I'm going to address you first. You've been lied to, pretty much saying that their degrees are shit and they should just be moms and mothers.
This is the kicker of the Kansas City Chiefs.
And he goes, my wife will say she was happy, but she's never been happier than when she fulfilled her duty of becoming a wife and a mother.
Sounds like a real Proverbs 31 woman.
Right. Anyways, women who just worked their butt off to get a degree, and he's like,
yeah.
Don't need it. You just need to be a mom.
I know this day is exciting, but it's never going to be as fulfilling or as exciting when you're literally pooping yourself on a table, pushing out a baby.
And I do believe that being a mother is an achievement. I think it is a great gift. But at the same time,
it's a box to check off.
If you want to go be an astronaut, go be a fucking astronaut and go to space. Like, stop giving men microphones without checking their speeches first, and then mute them.
Nobody checked my speech before I got here today.
I trust you.
You do?
Even though you're kind of mean to me.
Even though, bear or me, dude. Bear or me.
Okay, bear or you, I would definitely choose you in that scenario because, I'm
pretty harmless, I think.
Yeah, I would just really hurt your ego and then you walk away.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Josh.
You'd be like, you're 5'9", and I'd be like...
But yeah, so long story short, this guy just sucks. And
yeah.
He
sounds
so
like he
wrong.
sucks.
It's so wrong. Stop making women feel bad for wanting to be more than just a wife or a mother. Stop.
Yeah. No, totally, man. I think there was a time, there was a long time where that's what everybody expected, people to do. Like we had these like really stereotypical things like where you're like, the man goes to work and he comes home, he beats his wife, the wife has kids and
he beats his wife.
The 50s all over again. But yeah, man, we're living in a time where people don't need to do that, and they can't. Like, there's a bunch of people who have kids. Like, I don't want to have kids. You know what I mean? Like, so there's. I know that there's somebody out there who's gonna make up the population for me.
Yeah.
So I.
Also, there's a lot of kids in adoption centers. Adopt.
Yeah.
I'm pro adoption.
Right.
For
I'm
sure.
very pro adoption too. Like, I think that's awesome.
I was trying to find the voice memo that you sent me of when you're sending me a long voicemail at the end. Courtney's like, "Oh, are you voice talking?" or something like that.
I can't remember what I said. It's usually just me being pretty angry with you because for somebody who doesn't have a lot going on, you're very hard to get a hold of, And
I have a lot going on.
I don't disagree.
I was just talking to my mom and she's like, "I haven't heard from you in a while." And I go, "Mom, I'm tired.
That is just what you say though all the time."
I mean, I am tired all the time.
Tired.
I think I found it. So the other day, Josh had called. I don't even think you would call me. You just sent a voice memo of saying,
wrong.
Courtney is asking, man, if you would rather be in the woods with a man or a bear. And I think it's just, whatever. But it's pretty long. And I'm trying to see where.
Yeah, we don't need to listen to it. I get that though. I think there are a lot of men that are just, I can understand why you'd want to be with a bear.
Yeah. You have this one where I asked Tom, would he rather me be in the woods with a bear or man? And he said polar bear. And you go, I didn't know Tom was racist like that.
I was like, a white bear? Technically they're black and their hair is clear.
Yeah. Anyways, and then there's just a bunch of
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that picture.
You don't like that picture?
No, I hate that picture.
I shaved my mustache into a really thin mustache, and it kind of is I was going for a dirty Frenchman, but it looks more like Uncle Fester from the Addams Family.
He's scary.
Is Uncle Fester Addams Family, or there was the what was the other one? I always get it mixed up. Starts with an M. The Addams Family and
the Munsters.
Munsters, yeah, that was it. Which one was Uncle Fester and Munsters? Or
I'm gonna let you know. I'm not gonna be able to tell you because I never watched either one of those shows.
Oh, I watched a little bit of both, and that's probably why it's just so hazy in my brain.
You wanna? Yeah. Well, actually, what shows have you been watching recently? Anything good?
Oh
God.
Yeah, I've been watching. Hacks is a great show on HBO. I love that show. It's like
Does that have boobies in it?
No, but actually, no, it does. It does, but they're lesbian boobies, so I actually look away when that.
Is there a difference between?
When I know that the person's preference is other, I just kind of shield my face because I'm like, they wouldn't want me to look, and I do that as a sign of respect, and I'm an ally with my lesbian friends. So
all 10 of them.
Yeah, I won't look. Yeah, I won't look at them. 10 lesbian friends, but 20 boobs. You know what I mean? It's yeah, and I won't look at any of them because
you're such a king.
I know. But yeah, Hacks. It's about an old comedian in Vegas, and she had her heyday already, and then she meets with this young writer who starts writing material for her, and they kind of have a push and pull relationship.
Aww.
But it's a good show. It's a really good show. Always makes me laugh. And what else am I'm rewatching Veep, which I love.
I've never heard of both of these shows.
Really? Oh, Veep is so funny.
Is it all on HBO?
Yeah, I do a lot of HBO viewing, man.
I don't have any access to HBO.
Oh, really?
No.
I'll share my login, I guess.
Thanks.
But yeah, HBO has such good programming, man. Veep is so funny. It's Julia Louis-Dreyfus from from Seinfeld.
That's a mouthful.
And yeah, well, that's her name.
Yep.
And she is the vice president, and then she becomes president, and then she becomes vice president. She is so funny, dude. She is literally probably one of the funniest people I have ever seen in my life.
What's her name?
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Louis.
Yeah.
There she is.
Yeah, she is so funny. And
I know who she is. Yeah.
yeah, that's a great show. And I'm trying to think of what else I'm watching right now. I don't know. I've been very uninspired with a lot of the things I've been starting. I feel like, either there was that writer strike with SAG and stuff about AI. I just feel like AI is already writing these shows. And I think it feels so unoriginal. It feels forced. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm not into it, especially a lot of the Netflix stuff, dude. I just do not like a lot of Netflix programming.
I'm waiting for you to ask me what I've been watching.
What have you been watching, Braylee? Since you are your favorite topic.
I am my favorite topic. Maxton Hall.
That means literally nothing to me.
If you are a girly, or for the boys, if you love a good enemies to lovers romance, Maxton Hall on Prime Video is so good. I've watched it twice now.
On Prime.
It's a German show, and normally I don't like watching like foreign films and then they have like the dubbing over it because the lips don't match up and it's just not it.
Weird.
But the main guy in it he's fluent in several different languages, and I think English is his main language, but it's British English, so he's actually dubbing over his own voice, which is really cool. Anyways, so good. It is enemies to lovers. If you read Enemies to Lovers, this is at Maxton Hall. James Beaufort could do no wrong. He could kill my whole family and I'd still kiss him on the lips. I love him.
I'm a big fan of lovers to enemies stories.
Oh, okay.
I normally like things that end in divorce or murder. That seems to be more realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into crime docs. All right.
First of all, apologies to Elsie Silver. I said your last name wrong in the last book.
No, you
update.
said her first name wrong.
Yeah.
You said Elise Silver.
Did I say
your
last name?
last name
Did I just say
wrong.
last name?
Yep.
I said your first. Apologies to Elsie Silver. I said your first name wrong. I'm also dyslexic, so sometimes I just read things differently. Anyways, I am really dyslexic. Anyways.
I think you have a lack of attention to detail.
No, definitely not. And just to
You're
prove that,
unaware of your surroundings all the time.
Last night, Tom and I were naming our future kids just as funsies. And I love the name Miller for like a little girl and call her Millie for short.
Miller Lite.
Kind of, yeah. And Tom said, how would you spell it? And I was like, Miller, like Miller. And he goes, okay, because you wrote it down on a piece of paper and you spelled it Millre. And I go, well, Tom, I'm dyslexic. And sometimes that just happens. And he goes, I thought you were trying to give it a nice, like little French accent, like Miller.
Yeah. That'd be cooler.
Yeah. Anyways.
I'd probably spell it Mealer. Mueller.
No.
I think that would be cool.
Tom also was like, what about Millar? Millar.
Milady. What about Pilar?
No.
No? That's a real name.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, well, okay. Back to my book. So this one is another amazing book written by Elsie Silver. It is her newest book.
Not Elsie Silver.
Elsie Silver.
Elise Silver.
No, it's Elsie. Elise was the wrong name.
Oh.
Well, let me look it up now because I'm nervous.
Gosh. We're not on a roll now.
Shut up. Yeah, Elsie.
Okay.
So Elsie
right.
Silver does it again. She just came out with a new book called Wild Love. And if you remember my book recommendation of Heartless with the hot dad and his nanny, Willa Ford, it is Willa Ford's hot brother.
Why is everybody hot?
Sorry, her name is Willa Grant and her brother's name is Ford Grant.
Ford Grant.
Yeah. So why is he hot?
I think I went to college with a Ford Grant.
Really?
Yeah,
anyways.
He's a frat bro.
Ford Grant would never join a frat.
No.
Ever. Because he is a billionaire. Anyways, so he moves to a small... Oh my gosh, Ford. But
Ford you
is
can't
so
become
hot.
a billionaire ethically. So, he exploited workers and now... You're acting like he's a good guy, but he's not.
No, he is a good guy. He's a great... If you read the book, you would know. Ford Grant is a good guy.
Oh, really?
Shut up, Josh. Anyways.
Sounds like he exploits his workers.
You're such a cunt. Anyway. Oh, that's right. Okay, so it is about a guy named Ford Grant, and the girl's name is Rosie Belmont. Aren't those like really cool names? Isn't Rosie a cute name?
Yeah, it is a cute name.
So pretty much, Rosie moves back to her small town, and she has no job. She got let go or whatever. And Ford ends up moving. He's like a music production person that manages artists. And his dad is also like a famous singer. So he moves his studio and everything out to this small town. And it's his best friend's sister is Rosie. And Rosie needs a job. And what happens is, obviously they fall in love in the workplace. And they have sex on his desk. Anyways, it is so good. I highly recommend it because Ford Grant is so hot. It's so hot. Read just one of them.
No.
Please?
No.
If I bring you like an excerpt, will you read it?
Yeah, I'll read an excerpt. Read an excerpt.
And also Ford Grant has this like daughter that he doesn't know about. She shows up out of nowhere. And at first I was like, this is dumb. Why would you just randomly have a daughter? Turns out she was one of the best characters in the whole entire book. And it's not really his daughter. He donated sperm when he was younger to pay for concert tickets. And he did like an Ancestry.com.
This sounds so cheesy, Braylee.
Ancestry.com. And if you even read it, you would know it's not. And her dad had passed away, and so she found Ford.
Just
and
the
they lived with
logistics
Ford
of
for
everything is
Shut
ridiculous.
Up. It's such a good book. Go read it. I bet all of my book talk girlies would be like, Ford Grant is such a babe.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
It's the best book.
Yeah. And I think, if you have a loose idea on how music things work and stuff like that, then you're like, yeah, of course this guy would move his studio to the middle of nowhere and,
They're in Canada. It's Canadian music. We don't know how they work up there.
It's all just Shania Twain and Justin Bieber and Bryan Adams.
It's so good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Selling sperm to get concert tickets, huh? That's how.
I mean, women sell their eggs to pay for school.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit better of a trade-off than nutting in a cup for some concert tickets.
I mean, it's free money for a little bit of your sperm.
For a little bit?
For sure. How much are you sperming?
Court. Let's go to some questions.
Okay. So let me go to, oops, I almost deleted it. That would have been bad. Our prompt yesterday, we were trying to come up with like new prompts. And actually my friend did send me a Reddit that was like, hey, here's some great ideas for some prompts if you want to read off of these too. Who is this guy? Okay, so
no, I'm just kidding.
The prompt was, what makes you angry for no reason? And I'll let you go first. What makes you angry for no reason?
Oh, look who followed me. What makes me angry for no reason?
Yeah.
I really hate when people disrespect other people's time and like they're late and they show up with Starbucks and you're like wow, after I've spent days slaving away over the production of our thing, but you did send me an extra $5 for the cost that we incur for this, and that made up for it.
Okay.
What about you? What makes you angry, Braylee?
I was gonna say loud cars, but since we're making jabs,
oh yeah, jab away.
No, I will say loud,
like a Jabberwocky.
Loud cars put me in a bad mood.
Loud cars?
Yes.
We have so many loud cars that go by on this road.
Yeah.
It's a main road. So.
Over at Nash Collection, I don't know if there's like a group of people that decide to do it every Saturday, but in the middle of the afternoon, they just like all the way down.
Could be a car
Broadway.
club.
It could be.
Sometimes, they have those,
Yeah, it could be. But I would say like
everybody needs friends, I guess.
Nazis don't.
Yeah, it's normally better if they don't find each other because then they let their collective brain cell just get together and start bouncing off the walls. All right.
Okay, so loud cars is at the top, but this guy said Italians.
I wonder why he said that. I want to.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost as if he knows me.
It's okay.
And then
it's okay because somebody on mine, when I posted on my Instagram, goes, you.
Yeah. Also makes sense. Why wouldn't I went with a much broader thing on my thing. I went, what do you want people to know? That was my question.
Yeah, this person said, when I talk to someone and they ignore me, it's like my only pet peeve. So you're saying like you're just talking and they don't say anything back, or they're just not comprehending what you're saying?
When I talk to someone and they ignore me, I don't know. I mean, I think it could be one of those things. I do this sometimes too, that like there's just so much external stimuli happening where like somebody's talking to you, but you like see people walking in like from like the door behind them and stuff, and you're just like you're looking at them, but then you keep like looking over at the door, and then you keep. It's not because I'm not interested in what you're doing. I'm just like I don't know. If I hear people walking in or see, I have to like look. I don't know that person, so they're not calling me out like Scott is with Italians.
I have a hard time paying attention unless I'm doing something else. So like I need to have like something in my hand, or I am looking at something else, but I am listening.
Well, you're kind of like an iPad kid.
I've never owned an iPad.
Yeah.
Really, I haven't. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's not.
Well, you have a
weird.
phone.
I have a phone.
It's kind of the same thing.
But also, I didn't get an iPhone until I was 23 or 4.
Yeah, but you're like 46 now. So.
Yeah, so it's been like a long time.
Yeah.
All right. Then, boop, there we go. Someone said, people who don't run yellow lights.
Yeah, actually, I've seen a lot of people almost cause accidents, especially right next to that gas station we were talking about. They'll like, because you're kind of bombing down a hill, and then it'll turn yellow, and some people just slam on their brakes, and I've seen so many people have to like cut over and like go around them because like, dude, what? Like, are you trying to do extra credit for law enforcement? Like, why are you do you think God's up there giving people a high five? Like, he's like, oh, they stopped at a yellow light. Like, good job. Like it's yellow. That means the other things are still red. Like, just go.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think another thing that recently I've added to my list of including like lights is on Broadway. When there's an intersection, there is a time for you to walk, and the little white man will tell you when to go. When I say white man, the little white man, I mean like the little neon white man will tell you when to go.
Leslie Jordan's just, the ghost of Leslie Jordan's just hanging out there.
Well, shit.
So y'all can go.
Y'all hurry up now. So in Nashville, there will be a time when all sections can cross. And if you come to Nashville, follow the damn rules, because cars will be turning turning. That's why you're not being able to cross. Yeah. And I can't tell you how many times I'm getting off work and I've watched people hold up traffic because they're walking across the street when they're not supposed to, but they think they're allowed to go because their side is red, I guess you could say. Follow the rules, people, and walk when it says walk.
When I was leaving a birthday party the other night in downtown Nashville, some drunk guy acted like he was going to jump out in front of my car as I was, and I was like, don't do that, man.
That's the other thing. If you're going to get drunk in Nashville, just stay inside the bar.
Yeah. But you know how there's so much construction down there? They were walking on the literal street, like by like Second and I don't know, whatever it is.
That's like, I would say that's I literally yelled at a couple. I was like, stop walking, because a car was turning. They were about to get hit. Yeah. It was, and obviously they'd probably be able to sue them. I don't know, and win.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, we also had somebody come into the store. Speaking of like drunk people, we display our Nash koozies, and we actually have alcohol in the koozies.
You're allowed to display your koozies at work?
And by koozies, we mean the things that you put your drinks in to keep them cold. But sometimes I do show my koozies for a little bit of extra money.
Yeah. Just you and Claire are in there. Like, you want to see our Nash koozies?
Want to see my left koozie? And this guy goes...
Does Claire still work there?
Mm-hmm. Nice. I work with her actually on Saturday and Sunday.
Nice. Did you just talk about me?
Yeah, all the time. You were the topic of conversation at all times.
That's all I wanted. I just want to be on people's brains 24/7.
You are. All the time. But this guy goes, what would you do if I drank this drink in here? And I was like, I mean, it'd be kind of rude. And he goes, would it be rude? And I go, okay, fine. It'd be disrespectful. Don't do it. And he goes, Okay. And he's like really drunk. And he was like, I bet you get drunk people in here all the time. I was like, just you today.
Yeah, like literally one for one right now.
Like it's really, I will say like a lot of the drunk people are funny when they come in, but they do destroy the store.
Yeah. That is a side effect of being drunk, I would say.
This
Hold
guy's
on.
Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Things that make you angry for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
This is just a good one. Loud chewing.
We've already done that.
We've already done that, yeah.
Loud chewing.
Cars getting in front of me and slowing me down drastically.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Dude, there's
freaking agreed.
People here don't know about like a passing lane, you know, like getting over and just like let the fast cars go on the left lane and then, you know, get over once you're done going fast.
Someone made a post recently, and also thank you to the truck drivers, but also I agree with this. If you cannot pass a car within a mile,
Dude,
get back into the right lane.
Truck drivers are like notorious for doing that.
It drives
Love
me
you, but
bananas.
yeah, if you ever go on a long like road trip and you're just like, you just see those, they're always like playing a game, like one's passing and then the other one will, and you're like, who are we doing this for?
Yes, I actually want to set up a camera in my car one day just to see how many times I say the word fuck, because in Nashville, we got rated as like the #1 worst commute now.
Oh, I bet. I mean,
I could be lying, but I think Forbes said that we are the #1 worst commute.
Well, it's just this place wasn't built for the population it has, you know?
I mean, it's becoming like Las Vegas. And it's just...
Yeah, it is. It's very... What I said the other day, I was like, it's like poor person Vegas.
Yeah. It is. And it's just like, and also I mean this in the kindest way possible, but if you're going to come to Nashville, you know, be kind to the city. I got out of the...
There's a lot of trash and stuff that gets left. And...
I even got out of the Preds game. I went to the one where they lost, whatever. And it was also the same weekend as Morgan Wallen.
I think being a Predator is always a losing battle. You know, I say no to Predators.
I agree. We probably should change our name to like the Sabertooths.
Yeah.
Something that's not Predators.
Yeah. The Nashville Fun Guys or something.
Speaking of, we need to find the clip of you being like, us going, let's go Predators. And you're in the jail next to him. We're like,
yeah. And everybody down the road at the jail is like, yeah.
But Morgan Wallen weekend is always like one of the busiest weekends in Nashville.
Yeah.
And so with the Preds being in the playoffs, I got out and first of all, Broadway smelled so bad because Bridgestone's right next to Broadway.
Right. So, because I was like, wouldn't he be playing at Bridgestone? No, he was at Nissan Stadium.
Yeah, he was at Nissan.
And the Predators play at Bridgestone. So
it was trash.
It smelled bad. What did it smell? Did it smell like urine?
It smelled like, urine, throw up. It smelled like what I believe to be Morgan Wallen's car. Just kidding.
I feel like he probably has a nice car by now. Probably old car. Yeah.
Probably. But but also the next like morning or even the Monday morning after that full weekend, there's trash everywhere. And then you have workers coming in having to clean up. Don't do that. Yeah. And if you're going to throw up, pick a trash can.
Yeah, I just like, man, I don't have any desire to go down there. It's just
no desire.
It's it's expensive now, you know, and like also I'm just not really ever trying to go somewhere and like get drunk and be in a crowd of people. Like,
unless we're going to Critters.
I do like Critters, but I never feel like it's like overly crowded in there.
No, I'll go somewhere where it's like
and like there's parking, you know what I mean? Like it's like there's parking, you walk in. Like that's it. That's the majority of like Broadway, you're gonna go downtown unless you park at the library, which is cheap. Like you're gonna pay $50 for parking.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay a lot of money for drinks, and you're just gonna be surrounded by a lot of tourists, and it's going to suck because there's like all kinds of people that just like can't. I mean, I don't know. For me, it sucks. I don't want to, you know.
It's fun if you're visiting for a few days, but the longer you live here, the more you realize it sucks.
Yeah.
Eric Church played like a show at his bar last night.
Chiefs.
Yeah, there was a lot of people in town for that, but it was only like 300 people. Then Stevie Nicks played last night. Nashville is fun. It's just.
Was that the Carter Faith thing? I saw that she had a thing at Chiefs.
Oh, I don't know. Probably. Yeah. It's just saying, if you come to visit, just take care of our city. We're small. It's actually a really small city. And so if you run amok and you destroy it, it's very visible.
So true.
Be kind to the bartenders and the workers. Stop being mean.
Yeah.
We're not making the prices.
No, that's the TSC group or whatever they are who owns all the bars.
Yeah. Laney Wilson's opening a bar.
Yeah.
Stop opening bars.
Who do we need more? Yeah.
No.
It really is becoming like a little Las Vegas strip, and it's just dude, what's so funny, which I feel like wraps this town up so well, is one time when we first moved here, like went down there and we were walking down there, and I can't tell you the amount of people at every bar I went to, they were playing On the Pontoon. That's what that song sounds like me. It's just like chicken balking. Yeah. And every place, and some of the places keep their like the windows open or whatever, and so you can hear it was everywhere. And I was just like, man, like there's no original music downtown at all.
No, there's not.
And it's just, I don't know. I don't understand the appeal of it. Like, we have friends that kill it, that do like really well. Like they're great, like cover artists and stuff like that. I mean, they do more than covers, but I'm just saying, like, they are also great at doing covers.
Yeah.
But man, it just doesn't appeal to me.
The Nash Collection used to be across the street from Kid Rock's bar.
Oh, really?
Also my personal hell. And and before we moved, and they would always get a fine because they had all their windows open and they were the loudest bar on Broadway.
And they wore that in like a badge of honor.
Yes, they did. Yeah. But also, guys, just remember, Kid Rock's bar is the place where somebody took off their colostomy bag and swung it around and poop just went everywhere. Just remember that next time you step inside of that bar.
Oh man, it's the trashiest of all the.
It truly
bars,
is.
For sure.
Truly. I think there's a whole sign on there, like on the wall, that's a neon sign that says "sluts."
I think, yeah. You're like, dude, that's sick.
It is. Broadway is fun, but if you do come to Broadway, come to Nashville, also just remember there are really cool, like, other bars.
Go off the main strip. I think like you'll find some cool stuff if you go off the main strip. I don't have any suggestions for you, but just
because we don't do anything.
But just go off the strip. Go crazy with it.
Yeah, just do it. Guys, thank you for tuning in and listening. You can follow us on all social media. You can comment on our stuff. Comment and follow, please, for the love of God. Go listen to our music.
I guess.
And honestly, just enjoy our voices. And if you're in the car listening, run those yellow lights and stay out of the left lane if you're not going to go the speed limit.
Flip off some truckers, dude. Whatever. Go crazy.
Yeah, go nuts. But thank you, guys.
Thank you. See you on the next one.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, God. Please, not another podcast.
Yep.